Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Inside Spark webinar. And I'm so happy to have an amazing person here. And he's not other person but Felix Odia. He is an oil and gas AI automation engineer and innovator. And today he'll be sharing with us on this topic, how he was able to move from classroom to industry and how one can harness engineering, technology, and the mind power for exponential growth. Once again, thank you so much for being here, Felix. Glad to have you. All right, so I will be asking you a few questions. So please feel free to pour in yourself into all of these questions and share with us. So my first question here is, can you take us back to your journey? What actually inspired you to pursue engineering and how has your perspective evolved over the years?
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure being here.
Yeah.
So, engineering. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Okay. So, engineering. How it started. Actually, I've always been a creative person. I've always loved tasking things too. When I was little, I always wanted to be a scientist.
Wow.
No, I did not have any what's it called now, no main course, but I just wanted to be a scientist. But then it wasn't until I think that was SS2, SS3. My English teacher then, his name is Mr. Oyelo. So he came into the class and he was talking about the oil and gas process. How oil is,
Wow.
the exploration of oil and how it is brought out to the surface and everything just it made so much sense to me. Um, it felt like a treasure hunt. So basically,
Wow.
uh, yeah. So basically, you are digging and looking for a treasure, and then the treasure is very sought after, very expensive. So that is how it started basically. Um, Also, I mean, engineering is such a vast
You.
course. Yes, such a vast field. So yeah, so that's how I started. I'm happy uh, to be here, to be in this field. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's so amazing. So we can actually gain interest for something by just a normal conversation. For yours, it's just what your teacher was saying, and I can
Yeah.
really relate because my husband is also an engineer. So this is actually
Wow.
a topic that I'm very much interested in. Yeah.
Nah.
So moving on, I would like to know what were some of the key challenges you faced transitioning from classroom to the industry,
Sorry, can you take
and
that
how did
again?
you navigate them? Yeah, so
Can you take,
what were some of the key, okay. So what were some of the key challenges you faced transitioning from the classroom to the industry?
okay. So I feel like for every new graduate, there's always that uncertainty. Maybe that feeling of fear. You don't know how to navigate things. You just came out of the classroom space, so going
Yeah.
into the industry, a whole new world is a whole new space. So it's quite unfamiliar. So I faced that, of course. Also collaboration. You know, you need to learn a lot of. You need to have a lot of soft skills. Because you're going to be doing a lot of collaborating. You're going to be doing a lot of teamwork, a lot of bonding. You know,
Yeah.
uh, for me, I feel like it was just that uncertainty, that fear. So I had to believe in myself. I had to trust God too. And I had to build these soft skills. Communication. I had to build, teamwork, bonding, critical thinking, flexibility, adaptability. In the field, in this space. In order to thrive and to move from classroom to industry. You need to learn to be open-minded. You need to be
Mm.
able to unlearn, relearn, because it's a continuous process. What they teach you in the class like I wouldn't say a whole lot different from what is in the field, but I'll say is the field is more extensive, okay, than what is being taught in the class. So you need to be able to
Pra-
adapt, you need to learn, to commit yourself to learning. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much. So moving on, I know that many people see engineering as purely technical, but what's the role of creativity in engineering? I know you mentioned something about being
Yeah.
open-minded and
Yeah.
the likes of it. Yeah. So, what's the role of creativity
Yes.
in engineering? Yeah.
Okay, so like you said, a lot of people have this assumption about engineering that engineering is purely technical. But the truth about it is, engineering is more analytical than being technical. Okay, so
Okay.
as an engineer, you have to be very creative. I mean, if you look all over the world has advanced from let me use for example civil engineering. Okay, so the world
Okay.
has gone from traditional houses, duplexes and bungalows, and you can see if you go to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, you go to Saudi Arabia, you go to Hong Kong, you see
Yeah.
you see buildings, and these buildings are not just technical alone; they are
Mm.
creative. They are evidences of somebody that can think, somebody that
Yeah.
puts that thought paper. I was able to visualize it first in his mind or her mind before the
Mm-hmm.
technical work started. So creativity has a lot to play in engineering. And people that's why, pardon me to say, but that's why some
Okay.
engineers don't really excel in the field because they are more theoretical. They are very rigid, But creativity has a lot to do in engineering. And I mean,
Mm.
if you go to China, if you go to Korea, you see a whole lot of this, in play.
Yeah.
So yes, creativity is like creativity is that engineering is that platform for creativity to hover on. Okay, so
Mm.
engineering is the body, and then you have to be creative in order to produce something that is durable, something that is sustainable, something that is futuristic, and something that is useful to mankind. Thank you.
Wow, interesting. So it simply means that you don't need to go with the standard you've always known. There's need for evolving, trying to create to be
Yes.
more creative, yes, and keep coming up with new innovations. And the technology
Yeah.
keep growing each day. All right. So moving on, I know that with technology advancing rapidly, there are a lot of changes here and there. So how do you stay ahead and continuously innovate in your own field?
Okay. So for this, I think you have to be able to. So it's a continuous process, continuous learning. You have to
Mm.
be able to commit to continuous learning. Okay. So uh, there's something someone will say. I think there's a popular saying that says, it's not about the destination, it's the journey that matters. It's a
Yeah.
continuous process. You have to be patient, you have to be committed, and you have to be disciplined. In learning, you have
Mm.
to make that effort to learn more. Comfort and growth, they are not mentioned in the same sentence. So you have to be able to leave comfort and actually dive into this thing called engineering and technology. And also another thing is that you have to be able to network. Okay, so
Mm.
um information is everywhere. Okay, but privileged information is not everywhere. So
It's not.
privileged information, yes, so privileged information is only for a certain set of people. And so you have to be able to build relationships, build networks. You need to be able to relate to people, so that they can help you. You can see people that are futuristic, people that are insightful, people that see the future, people that have the burden of the future in their hearts, so that they can
Yeah.
help you navigate this path, and so that you can stay relevant and stay useful uh, in this field. Yes.
Wow,
Thank you.
interesting. Thank you so much. So, one should actually look out for people that have gone ahead. The place of mentorship is also important in the field, like looking out for people that have more knowledge than you. And the part where you made mention of privileged information, I like that contribution so much because it's not common, really. Because you can actually have all the information you need, but there are information that are really scarce to get. So we need to be very
Yeah.
sensitive to that because it can actually propel one in their career. All right, thank you so
Yes.
much, Felix. Okay,
Sorry, can
so
I?
what are
Another,
some? Okay, yes, yes, go on.
yeah, another thing I would like to add is to that question. So sorry.
Mm.
Is so a lot of people want to be paid a certain amount of money, but they have not invested that amount in themselves yet. And that is where the issue is. So you cannot expect to be paid millions and billions, and then you've not invested that amount in your process. You've not invested that amount in
Yeah.
learning. So um, people pay for value, okay? And for you to be at your top of the game, like at your peak of the game in this industry, you have to have value. So you must be
Yeah.
able to also spend on yourself, take courses,
Mm.
take go to seminars that can help you grow and improve. Yes, thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for adding that. Okay. So, what are some of the underrated skills that engineers should develop to be able to thrive beyond just the technical knowledge? Probably soft skill or any skill at all that you think that is necessary for engineers to have.
Okay, yes, like you already mentioned, an engineer must have soft skills, communication, because when you're in engineering, you do not only deal with engineers alone. You deal with people from HR, from marketing department. So you need to be able to communicate well. You need to have that ability to communicate. You also need to be able to be flexible, adaptable. You know, another thing that is also really important is emotional intelligence. So a lot of
Yeah.
people have high IQ or low EQ, and they
Okay.
say IQ IQ takes you into the palace or into the company. This instance, company. IQ takes you into the company, but it is EQ that keeps you there. So
True.
as an engineer, you should learn to be able to relate with people, have that emotional intelligence. IQ means intellectual quotient. Yes, that's the book
Yeah.
and everything. But EQ is about managing people. You need to be able to
Mm.
manage people, and yes, and that is more important, self, than EQ. So as an engineer, it's good to have that. Also, another thing that is really good for an engineer to have is business acumen. Okay,
Mm.
so um, engineering is just a sub part. It's just a part of the big idea. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
business in general is big. Okay, and engineering is just a sub part. So as an engineer, you need
Yeah.
to know that this my is just uh is just a part of a bigger picture. So you need to learn how
Yeah.
to be able to fit it business, and scale it from there. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Another
so
thing,
so
sorry,
much.
lastly, you need to
Okay. Go on.
sorry, so sorry for that. Another
It's
thing is
fine.
lastly, you need to learn how to leverage on relationships too.
Mm.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So another thing is you need to be able to build relationships and leverage on them too. So basically, you need to be good also in networking. So yeah, as an engineer.
Wow.
Thank
Wow. Thank you so so much. Wow. And like some persons have skills and the likes of it, but they don't really know the business side of things. And I love the fact that you
Yeah.
were able to point that out. So it's really, really important. And like you said, communications as well, so that you can be able to relate with other departments that you'll be working with or individuals. Yeah. Okay, so my next question here is how did you identify and seize opportunities that accelerated your career growth? I know that you've talked about how you transitioned, or what are your litmus check to know that yes, this is an opportunity for growth and the likes of
Okay. So first of all, as an engineer, or for me,
it. Mm-hmm.
I was open minded. So I had an open
Okay.
mind. Okay, and I wasn't afraid to step into any unfamiliar space. So as an
Mm.
engineer, you must be open-minded, and the truth about it is you will get opportunities that may not necessarily how do I put it? You may get opportunities that may not necessarily give you value monetarily, like in
Mm-hmm.
money value
Yeah.
yet. but then they have the potential to you have the ability to learn, and they have the potential
Mm-hmm.
to increase, you know, you with time.
Mm-hmm.
So basically,
Yeah.
yeah, so basically opportunities come, and then you see a lot of people say, this pay, it's too low, it's too low for me. But then that job, you can learn on the job, learn a lot
Mm-hmm.
of things on the job, and also it has the potential, it has the ability to actually increase you. So one thing you must learn to do is be open-minded. Okay, so anything is possible. Do not be segregated to one particular type of job. Okay, so as an engineer, be open-minded. Do not be afraid to step into unfamiliar spaces.
Mm-hmm. Wow, thank you so much. That was the right answer that I needed for that particular question. Thank you so much. So moving on, I just want to ask, I know you're an oil and gas automation engineer, and I wanted
Yeah.
to find out how can young professionals, use emerging technologies like AI, automation, or data analytics to scale their career or their businesses. So
Sorry, can you 1 minute, please?
yes, can you hear me? Okay, yes, I can. So my question is, how can young professionals use emerging technologies like AI, automation, and the likes to scale their career or their businesses? Okay, so I think you're muted.
Hello?
Yes, I can
Yeah.
hear you. Yes, did
Sorry,
you get the last question? No, it's fine.
no, network is
Okay, so my question is, it's okay. My question is, how can young professionals use emerging technologies like AI, automation, and data analytics to scale their businesses or their career?
scale their business.
Yes, or maybe their career.
Okay, their career. Okay, so
Yeah.
basically, what's AI? AI is automation. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's like it helps you save a lot of time, automating processes, maybe with repetitive processes.
Mm.
For instance, maybe if you're like let me give an example now, like in a
Okay.
facility. Okay, so you
Mm.
can have an AI powered machine that helps you note when a machine is about to go bad. Okay, so how I mean
Okay.
is, maybe you can have an AI powered machine that tells you, oh, okay, we need to put more fuel in this, we need to put more oil in
Mm.
this. We need to do this particular machine needs to go for servicing and all of that. So
Mm.
incorporating AI in business is very important. It
Mm.
saves you a lot of time, saves you a lot of cost, and it makes everything seamless. The other day,
Mm.
I was reading an article, I think by Chevron, and they were talking
Okay.
about how AI makes everything, like their production rate. It, in, they produce with AI, and the production rate increased. They were able to get more
Wow.
from the. So you can see that AI is quite reliable and is very productive. And why data analytics? Basically, data analytics is like it's also a predictive measure. Okay, so it
Mm.
takes like data and then is able to predict, like for instance, now the oil and gas industry is able to predict reservoir performances, able to predict a whole lot of things. So basically, learning these skills will give you a cutting edge in the industry. So as an engineer, you need to learn how to incorporate these skills, learn them, be
Mm.
it programming, be it data analytics. It is very useful in the industry, very, very useful. And I cannot stress enough on that fact, because a whole lot of things, I mean, the world is going from traditional to automated. And
Yeah.
if you are not able to adapt to change, if you're not able to embrace change, you'll be left behind. So
Mm.
as an engineer, it's good for you to be able to incorporate these too in your field. Yeah, thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. And I know that with the advancement of AI, artificial intelligence, it's something that one can actually learn and then add it to whichever field they are into. Even if
Yes,
your field is outside of engineering and the likes of it, you may not be an expert in it, but at least have an idea of how it works. Yeah.
yes, fine.
All right.
That is
Thank
fine.
you so much. Okay, so my next
Thank you.
question is, okay, my next question is, what's one technological trend that excites you the most, and how do you see it shaping the industry?
Okay, one technological trend, I think
Yeah.
is quite obvious already. AI.
That's why I'm laughing.
I mean, observation. AI is very exciting that humans can build something bigger than themselves. You know, now we a lot of people use ChatGPT. You know, you go on
Mhm.
ChatGPT now, you want to research, want to. I mean, it's fascinating. It's exciting. You know, endless possibilities that AI can do. Endless possibilities. You know, endless. If you go to countries that are world leaders in the technological field. If you go
Yeah,
to Hong Kong, if you go to Dubai, if you go to Saudi Arabia, if you go to the US, you see a lot of things in place. So it's very exciting. You see AI in play in the health industry. You see it in play in the fintech industry. You see it even agriculture, agritech.
sure.
Goodness, AI is doing a lot of things that people normally would do, and is freeing up time for everybody. You know, AI is my goodness is in fact is quite a discovery. It's quite a discovery. That's what I can. So
Wow.
AI is that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So to our listeners, I think it's also good you take a step further to incorporate AI into whatever learning you're doing right now, because that
Sorry.
is where the world is. Yeah, I'm speaking to our listeners that it's also good that they incorporate AI into whatever thing they're doing,
Okay.
because that's where the world is actually heading to right now. Right now. All right. Thank you so much, because it was obvious that AI was it for you. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah. It was.
right.
It was.
So to
Thank
my next question, okay. To my
you.
next question, it has been discovered that at some point many engineers eventually transition into leadership or entrepreneurship and the likes of
Mm,
it. So what mindset shifts are necessary for this type of leap, maybe in your
mm.
career and the likes of it? So do you see yourself getting to the point where you want to transition into leadership as an engineer, or maybe into entrepreneurship and the likes of it? And if yes, what are the indicators for these leaps?
I'm so sorry. I did not hear.
Okay,
It was cutting. Network is.
okay.
Can
Let
you
me
please take that
rephrase.
again?
Yes, I can. All
Okay.
right. So many engineers eventually transition into leadership or entrepreneurship. So
Okay.
what mindset shifts are necessary for this particular leap?
Okay, so as an engineer, I think the most important thing you said leadership, yes, and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I think the most is being able to transition because engineers are very technical people, you know. So you need to be transition from technical focus to people focus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so apart from technicality, you need to be able to manage people. You know, that's where emotional intelligence comes in. You need to be
Intelligence,
able, yes, you need to learn how to be able to manage people. So you move from technical focus to people focus. Okay.
people focus.
Another one is as engineers, we do not like to take risk because risks are very detrimental. You know, as an engineer, let's say a civil engineer now is building a bridge. You know, that bridge is very. Just imagine the amount of people that pass that bridge every day. So the
Mm,
guy is avoiding risk at all costs. You know, he does not want to take any risk at all. But
mm,
so when you're moving from engineering to entrepreneurship, you have to be able to take risks.
mm.
You have to be able to take risks as an entrepreneur. So you
Yeah.
also need to cultivate that to be able to stop avoiding risks and start embracing risks.
Mm.
Another one is another one is you need to go from solving to vision setting. Okay,
Okay.
so as an engineer, of course, we are solvers. We like to solve problems, but you also need to
Mm.
see past the problem and see the vision. You also need to be able to be a man or a woman of vision and actually you need to be a visionaire, past the
Yeah.
problem and see the possibilities and solutions in that problem. Yes. Thank you so
Wow.
much.
Wow, that's so profound. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so what are the most important lessons you have learned about managing or working with people and projects in this fast-paced industry? Can you share some of your lessons? You know, maybe when you've been with your experience with working with people and your journey so far. So, what are some of the lessons you've learned about managing or working
Okay.
with people and projects? Yeah.
Okay. So I think when working with people, communication is key
Mm,
because what you might be thinking is not what the other person might be thinking. You need
exactly.
to learn. You need to learn to communicate openly. You know,
Mm,
with somebody. Do not assume. Do not make assumptions. You know, assumptions kill relationships. For you to be able to
mm,
communicate, okay, this is how I feel, or this is what I think, and yeah, communicate with whoever you're working with. Also, people differ. So the way you manage Mr. A is not the way you manage Mrs. B.
yeah.
So people are dynamic. So you need to learn how to observe, be observant, know people's character, know their
Mm,
personalities.
strength.
Uh,
Yeah.
we've yeah, yes, we've heard about melancholy, sanguine, all these character types. So you need
Mm-hmm.
to learn which is can be able to roll with this certain, different people because the truth is you're going to meet the
New
bad recruits
people.
in the field,
Yeah.
So you need to be able, yes, yes, that's the truth. That's the truth. In fact, you ask yourself, what did I do? why is this why is this person like this? But you need to
Yeah.
be able to learn how to manage that person. Also, flexibility is key to do not be rigid. Okay, so there's no
Yeah.
one possible solution for anything. They are different. So you need to be able to take your own might be correct, but this guy's own
Mm.
is also correct. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's better than yours. So you need to be able to be flexible, listen to people, and all of that. Another thing I've also learned, while working with people and projects is executing that project, executing that idea is far
Mm-hmm.
more than birthing the idea. So a lot of times
Mm.
we brainstorm brilliant ideas, but we do not execute them. So the execution is
Hello. So at this point, if you have a question for him, you can quickly drop it at the comment section. I guess network is a bit bad, but just take it on and hold on while we connect back. All right, Felix, if you can still hear me, kindly unmute. So our viewers, so sorry about this. I guess it's network. So if you have a question, please kindly drop it at the comment section. He will definitely respond to it. And let's just give him a few more minutes to join us. All right, so far he has spoken a lot about communication. He has told us how important it is for one to be flexible in the workplace and know how well to relate with every other person in that particular field. So I think he's back here and the likes of it. So today we've been able to look at how one can move from classroom to industry. And I love the intelligent responses he has been giving to the different questions that were coming up here into this show. I don't know why the network is a bit lagging, but then let's just see if you can join us quickly. All right, dear. So he's here. Thank you so much for joining. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I
No,
apologize.
it's
Yeah,
okay. So I was able to engage the audience. Sorry about that. Okay,
okay.
so you were saying something about some of the lessons you've learned, and you talked about communication and the likes of that. I
Yeah.
don't know if you're still speaking to that point.
Sorry.
You talked about communication and the like,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you still have more points to talk about in that particular question.
Okay. So I spoke about communication. I spoke
Yeah,
about people dynamics. So people are
yeah,
different. I also spoke about flexibility. Being able
mm-hmm.
to people and being flexible in different situations. And lastly, I
Yeah,
spoke about execution. So executing
mm-hmm.
here is far more important than birthing the idea. So most times we are quick to brainstorm, and this is while working on projects now. We are quick to
Mm-hmm.
brainstorm, write down,
Sketch it.
all, do all the plannings, but then we fail to execute, and that idea
Mm,
just dies. So basically, executing the idea is far more important than
and just
birthing the idea.
betting it.
Yes.
Wow, interesting. I think I love that line. Execution is more important than just betting the idea. Wow, thank you so much, Felix. So far, it's been amazing. So I have two more questions for you before we call it a day. But so far, I believe that our followers are being engaged and they are learning from the webinar. So please, for those viewing or those that will still watch, please, if you have your questions, please feel free to engage us at the comment section. And definitely, Felix and I will be there to respond to your questions. So moving on, I just wanted to advise somebody, maybe your younger self or somebody looking at us and wondering, yes, I love this interesting topic, but then and this is me right now. I just need advice. So if you could give your younger self or any other person one piece of advice or two before that they can actually hear before entering into the industry, what would that advice be? Did
Just
you
one
get the
advice,
question?
right?
One or two?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I heard. Okay, so I think the first one would be build strong relationships,
Mm,
because you see, technical skills are good,
mm,
knowing everything is good, but you see, there are places where your technical skills won't uh, open doors for you. It is who you know and who knows you that open the door for you.
mm,
So networking is more important than technical skills. Technical skills. So I think that's one advice I'll give to someone. As an engineer, as a young professional, learn to build strong relationships. You know,
mm,
be it friends, be it colleagues, be it mentors, be it senior colleagues. You know, also having a mentor too is another one I would give. Someone having a mentor, somebody that has applied that path that you want to, has
mm.
taken that path that you want to take. So I think these two. Yeah. So uh, be able. I think the last one. Sorry, you said one or two, but let me just give three.
It's fine.
Last
It's
one,
okay.
yeah, last one I'll give is be able to adapt or be able to evolve.
Mm, mm,
Okay, do not be too traditional. Do not be too rigid. Do not be too rigid. Be able to unlearn, relearn,
mm.
be able to learn. It's a continuous process. Be able to adapt to different things as an engineer, because the world is moving. In fact, it has moved already. It has moved. It's not more moving. It's not moving.
Yeah.
You know, you need to be able to, yeah, to evolve too. think these three advices. The first one, build strong relationships and
Yeah.
leverage on them. Okay. The second one is have a mentor. Have somebody you can, be it in your industry or
Mm.
somebody you can talk to, somebody that has taken that path before. And the third one is um, learn to be adaptable. So learn,
Adaptable.
yes, learn to evolve as an engineer. Thank you.
Wow, interesting. Thank you so much, Felix. I've really learned a lot, even though I'm not an engineer, but you've spoken so intelligently. Like, wow. Thank you so, so much. So, my last question here is for you. Looking ahead, what legacy do you hope to leave behind in the industry? I know a lot to be happening in the future with this, your career and the likes of it. What are the legacies you hope to leave in this field in the coming years?
Hmm. Thank you very much for this question.
You're welcome.
Okay, so wow, what legacy would I love to leave? I think I I would prefer. I want to inspire people,
Mm,
empower people. So I think that would be a more fulfilling thing for me. You know,
mm,
uh, giving people the platform to soar, giving people that platform to know that life is beautiful. Life is bigger than
mm.
what you might think it is. As an engineer, as a person, I think that is something I really love. To empower people. That's what I love to leave behind. You know, that this person empowered me, inspired me. Also, of course, I would love to bring solutions. So be it AI solutions, just solutions to mankind, solutions that can be useful, not just now, not just the present, but the future. Yes, to come.
Yeah.
But I think for me, the major one will be empowering people. Empowering people. Helping them up. Helping them up. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so, so much for being here, Felix. I really, really appreciate the time and being able to share your lessons and your impact journey with us. And I must commend you. I really learned a lot just by following. And I believe that so many other persons that are following and those that will still join us will also learn a lot from this webinar. So please, guys, I would like you to quickly follow Felix immediately after this webinar or even while you're still listening. You can see his social media handles at the description. Please, this is somebody you want to keep following and learn from. And want to say thank you so much for being part of this community. We'd love you to please like, share, and subscribe to meet you once again. Thank you so much, Felix, for being here. I really appreciate you for the time spent.
Thank you. Can I say something to
Yes, please go
end?
ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So past engineering, past technology. Uh, when we're talking about the mind, power of the mind. Um, so I would like to say this. You see, what you can conceive, you can achieve.
Mhm.
Okay, and um, the world is so vast and the mind is so powerful that if you keep on thinking and pondering over a particular thing, it is going to happen. So that's why people tell you when you're about to die. That's when people, most of the doctors, they say they try to remind you of the happy times of your life.
Mm.
Remember this time, because if you think about that situation, that death situation is going to happen. You're going to die. So basically, what I'm saying is the world is so big and beautiful. We should not settle for less. Be
Yeah.
able to train your mind. There are 195 countries in the world. I mean, for me personally, I'm not sure I know up to 100. I don't know
Mhm.
about you, but see, there are 195 countries in the world. You see, I was browsing the other day and I saw Tuvalu, I saw some other countries, I saw Eritrea. It's also in Africa. I've never heard of that.
Wow.
So numerous countries, over 95 countries that I really. So let us look past. I'll list myself. Nigeria is only a little fragment of the world. Look past your situation, look past
Mm.
everything, and be able to dream, be able to, you know, prove. provide solutions, not just for Nigeria, but mankind. So put your mind into use, into good use. The mind is so powerful. It's so
Mhm.
powerful. Project good things into your mind so that they can take fruits. They can have bring forth fruits in your life. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Felix. Guys,
Thank
thumbs up to Felix, and thank you so much for sharing with us. So this is now an opportunity for you to go ahead, go beyond us, and harness every grace, every strength, every potential in you, and make sure that you achieve that growth that you want to achieve. Thank you so much for being here, and everybody here, thank you so much for also watching. See you next time. Thank you, Felix. Do have a nice day.
you. Yeah, bye.
All right, bye.